Hello, beautiful peasants. Oh, looks like Paint just redeemed something. I don't even know what you redeem. When I'm not here, the tavern is not open. You can redeem, but the polling just goes into the void. But anyway, good morning. Oh, I can't heist. I don't have enough polling. Anyway, we're having a lot of fun with these goofy modules and stuff. I'm finding a way to build it in so it fits into the stream as seamlessly as possible. Supposedly, if one of y'all donate today and do a super chat, whether you're gonna like roll D20 Destiny or you're just feeling generous, supposedly it's gonna populate automatically. I've also decided to call it a Tavern event that we will unlock at $30. And as far as what it will be, I have like a little short list of things I can pick from that range from like extending the stream to be longer by at least an hour or two, or a tavern pet, of course, things among that nature. So I'm making it more of an event as opposed to just buying a tavern pet. So, yes. Thank you guys for being here though. Hello, hello. What a lively start. I do have a poll in here. It's completely optional if you guys want to kind of like dictate the flow of the stream a little bit, whether you're feeling more chatty, arty, or just a nice little blend of both. If I don't have a strong preference, I just kind of leave it up to y'all, and I don't have a strong preference today. I can be chatty, I can be arty, I can be both. So yes. Hope y'all are doing well. Good morning, good morning. Also, yeah, I'm not sure what Paint tried to redeem. I'm so sorry, I didn't see that. Oh yeah, Taka has 0 points. Oh, a reminder, the store has been repopulated with goofy things that you can affect the stream by. I've made the cleanup a little more expensive, that way people that are paying for fun little effects, again, this is all fake currency, this is not real money. The bar up top, that's real money, the rest of it's not. Anyway, I made it a little more expensive so someone pays for a fun little effect, it doesn't get yeeted immediately. Oh, what else? Oh, I increased the cooldown for the heist a touch because I feel like Streamlabs is getting confused and it just like barfs out all the messages all at once. And I'm like, okay, so hopefully that will kind of calm that down. So if you try to heist and it's not working, it's because there's like a couple minute cooldown. So just keep that in mind. Shoulder thorns, they're not actually, they are dual like kopeshes on his back. Yeah, like this. So they're weapons. I haven't posed him yet, so they totally look like thorns right now. And honestly, I mean, I'm not mad about that. I still think that's quite cool. Come here. Be interesting. Yeah, Satyr, I agree. You can give Taka 100 points. Poing, my bad. Ugh. Monkey, poing is for being hoarded. I have you in mind. I have a... It's not implemented yet, but I'm going to have a ridiculous effect that you guys can redeem for 1,000 poing at some point. But yes. Yeah, how is everyone doing? Lovely Wednesday afternoon here. Again, a reminder, I will not be streaming tomorrow, but I'll probably be back Friday. Satyr, I could, but I'm on strike. Oh, that's right. I'm thinking about if I still haven't watched the movie by next Monday, so if I don't watch it over this weekend, I'll probably let you, like, I don't know, make a wish on stream. I don't know. Ask for something within reason. That's very fair, Otaka. So today I got a couple things I could be working on. I'm still getting enough work done overall, despite all of our antics and shenanigans, but I don't know, I kind of feel like I want to get more done. So yeah, we'll see. It would be great if we could start the Necromancer hamster folk, and now I've never sculpted a hamster folk, so that'll be fun. Excuse me. And then also, I have the crazy old coot miner that we sculpted all posed up, so I can get that cleaned up as well. Goodness. Oh wow, Satyr. Cheesy. Cheesy. I know, it is crazy I haven't watched that movie yet. It's very up my alley. I know I'm going to love it. Which is partly why, like, I don't... That's also why I'm taking forever to get through Expedition 33, because I, like, refuse to play it casually. If I'm not, like, I don't know, present of mind. I don't want to play it or watch it. Alright, y'all. Let's go ahead and get started. Or, you know what? I'm actually going to I'm going to start a poll real quick for y'all here. Alright. Please vote in the poll. It is up right now. I'm going to have it open for a couple minutes. What to do first? Do you guys want to see the crazy old coot miner finished? Again, those poses turned out really fun. Or do you guys want to start the Necromancer Hamster folk? You guys cannot go on strike if you're not a mod. Nothing changes. You guys are goofy. Yes, not to be confused with that satyr. No. My voice is all scratchy. This is the most I've talked in the morning. Like, so Ricky and I have coffee every morning and we chat. But I guess we weren't very talkative today. I have not warmed up my voice. The poll is about 50-50 right now. Yeah, I'm voting. Got about 2 minutes. As y'all come in and settle in, like the stream, because it really does help. I think a Princess Mononoke watch party would be, like, smart and, like, could be really fun and, like, ooh, community and stuff, but it's something that I'm going to like so much that I don't think I'd be cool to, like, share that experience weirdly, because I'd be that kind of person where if anyone talks or is interested, I am not a fun person to watch movies with. I just, like, watch the movie. No breaks, no, like, you pee before the movie. You don't get up, you don't talk to me. I want to, like, watch the movie. I'm, like, super into it. If it's a goofier movie, like, I don't mind chatting over it. But no, not that one. I would not be cool about it. Maybe a different movie. Maybe I'd be down for doing a little watch party with y'all in our Discord. Maybe the second time that I watch it. Oh, I love Kiki's Delivery Service. I've watched that. Alright, looks like almost every single one of y'all have voted. If I'm doing this right, and if YouTube analytics are correct, only 2 people have not voted. Necromancer Hamster folk? Wow, what a phrase. Is barely in the lead. Oh my goodness, yeah, I have not seen The Boy and the Heron either. Same kind of thing. I gotta be like full brain. All right. Oh, Foxy refuses to vote because they're on strike. Okay, so this is like your one thing that, okay, whatever. I'm gonna watch the movie, guys. I love Studio Ghibli. Taka, I'm one of the 2. I'll be gone in 10 minutes, so I don't care. That's fair. All right, looks like we got a good amount of people that voted. Just barely, the Necromancer Hamster folk has pulled out into the lead. Alrighty then. Now officially begins the Tavern Keeper's Craft. Alright, let's talk about it. So if you're new here, hello. My name is Mia, and I sculpt 3D printable models for a living. Specifically, everything that's D&D tabletop, which means anything from a dragon to a barrel. You know, I sculpt it all. Alright. So here is the request. It's from Eduardo. Could you make a necro hamster, hamster folk necromancer, please and thank you. This is a particularly short request. Honestly, sometimes some of my favorite. So yeah, we have a ton of freedom here to pick stuff. Let's go ahead and grab some references from Pinterest. I don't mind using like ArtStation or even just Google Images. Let's just type in hamster folk and let's just see what comes up. I'm feeling brave. Oh my god, it's so much better than I expected. Wow, I'm thrilled. Okay. So I use a plugin called Eagle, and so that means I can click and drag and it will show up with all of my current requests I'm working on. Again, not sponsored. I haven't even paid for the software yet. I'm still in the free trial, but I highly recommend it. So far, I've really enjoyed it. So yeah, I'm not sure how I'm going to handle the feet. I guess I'm going to go with a digitigrade look. However, he's going to be a necromancer, so if I'm going to put a giant cloak on him anyway, I don't want to deal with sculpting those legs. You know what I mean? I typed in dark mage. Oh, here's a more serious look for it. I kind of just imagine I'd make it adorable, but we'll see. This is so cute. Again, I need to make it look more hamster, not mouse. Close, but different. Says, oh my god, that is the best plugin ever. I'm pretty happy with it, and when I do go to pay for it, I think I know it's one time, it's not a subscription, so love that too. I know this is the cat, but again, I'm looking more so of like the attire and what they are wearing. So what makes a quintessential necromancer? Let's go ahead and just look up necromancer. I'm such a sucker for that like breastplate looks like ribs. I see that used all the time. All right, this is very necromancer-esque. All right, another minute here or so of grabbing references that I like and kind of get excited about this design, and then we'll get started. Can you send me a link for the app? No, Google it. It's Eagle, like the bird. Eagle. All right. Oh my gosh, yes. Thank you, Empress. On a real note, this is actually quite helpful. Oh, it gets funnier the more you read it. Okay. Google Balancer. Beautiful. All right, some of this is getting more Wraith-like than it is Necro. Oh my god, I love this. Oh, that is so fun. Okay, I'm gonna save that too. Our Necromancer hamster is not gonna go this hard, but anyway. All right, so here is the whole thing. Let's go ahead and zoom in on this so you guys can actually see it. And then I can change the layout to, we'll probably just do waterfall so that way you can actually see more of it. Unless it's gonna be stupid. What layout's gonna work the best? I guess a grid. That's kind of boring though. There we go. But yes, this is kind of our little mood board here of what we're going to make today. I'll put a screenshot of this in Discord. There we go. Alrighty, I'm gonna move this over to my other monitor and we'll get started. I have an ArtStation. Alright, which one is it? This one. Oh, sorry guys, heist odds are getting destroyed as of right now. You can thank Empress for that. She spent her hard-earned coin just to ruin your day. Aw, yay. But on a real note, that means that the payout is going to be 300%. That is 3x. Anything that you gamble, you will get 3 times back. However, you only have a 25% chance to win. Sorry. Good luck! And you can thank Empress for that. Satyr, I saw you broke your strike right there. Just saying. I see you. a necromancer? It feels like a philosophical question, doesn't it? Alrighty, let's go ahead and get this started. I have a beginning ZPR. I kind of have a unique flow of how I create characters because I've been doing this for years. And again, like, why sculpt the same base over and over and over again, right? So I have all these pieces that kind of start to kit bash together. And each one of these, my kind of rule of thumb is I don't sit down and just make a bunch of shirts or a bunch of shoes. Each one of these was custom made for a certain character, but I was just really careful in the way I constructed it so I can easily modify and change it in the future. Like for example, I've used this a bunch of times, and the way that I've created it, I can isolate pieces really, really quickly. Why are you only grabbing that one thing? There we go. See? Yeah. And because it is a hamster folk, I normally would give it digitally legs, but it's also a necromancer. So you can design, you know, strategically, okay? I'd have to spend a lot of time getting these legs just right on this little mouse, even though I have done it before. So I think it is smartest if we just, there's some bubbles for you. If it's smartest if we just have the cloak cover his little legs and then just stick a hamster head on him. That would be the best way to do this. That's because you're not using the right sparkles command. It says if you touch or you click on it, it will say how to redeem it. So the description will say what it is. It's redeem fairy dust. And thank you again to Reaper. That was her suggestion to actually just put the redeem function in the description. All right, I'm gonna start getting to work here. If y'all need me, put at M3DM, so I'll put my name in orange. If I still miss it, just say it again. I don't want to miss your questions and comments. I'm cooking. I'm busy. You can also put it in our Discord under our live stream hub. That's probably an easier way to get to me too. And if you're new here, we are super cool with sharing references, ideas, being creative. So yeah, don't be shy. All right, do I have a mouse folk, like a head that I can use? I'm gonna search mouse. I know I have a rat. I think it'd probably, oh, I do have a rat folk. Oh, that's right. I forgot about, yep, remember this was our lovely queen that we made. I know it looks ridiculous right now. Also has straight legs because she was in a dress, so I didn't have to deal with that. I think I can hamsterify this. God, she does look really horrifying though. That screamy mouth. I think it might be easier if I just make a hamster from scratch. Yeah, we're not gonna deal with this. Nope. Okay. I'm going to modify the female base mesh. And we're gonna make her into a hamster. Just another day at the tavern. Right now I'm adjusting my other monitor here on my references so I can kind of see what's going on. Okay. This hamster's gonna look like a mouse. I'm telling you guys right now, if you're like, it looks more like a mouse. I know, it's gonna look like a mouse. And then Mia, look up Black Hamster by Perigrip for reference. It is stream safe. If it's stream safe, put it in the Discord. That makes it easier. Alrighty. So we're gonna go ahead and put a little screenshot of her up here. And we'll watch as this transforms into a hamster folk necromancer. First things first is we need to change up these body proportions quite a bit. I'm also going to change the color here. I'm not going to need these little like modesty garments. I don't need subdivision levels either. And I also don't need eyebrows. We'll keep the eyeballs, we'll keep the lashes. I'm not sure if I'm going to literally sculpt a hamster folk face from this. I don't think so. I think that'd make my life very difficult. All right, we're gonna do a casual little beheading here. Very nice. We're gonna start changing up these proportions. So I'm gonna take a chibi route here, which is essentially going to be 3 heads tall. So right now she's closer to 8 heads tall, which means I'm really not gonna need a lot of this model. It's like, well, at this point, why even use a base mesh? Base mesh? You don't have to, but I do find it a bit faster. I do joke about that all the time, that by the time I'm done sculpting and modifying the base mesh, I might as well sculpt it from scratch. Making the arms a bit shorter here too. And there we go. gonna put a big old sphere on top of it, and that's gonna be the head. It's about right, and again, about 3 heads tall. So I'm gonna map this out. That's the amount of room that we have to deal with here. So I need to make these arms much, much smaller. We're gonna go ahead and remove these off of the main body. This is gonna be fun to rig. Oh goodness, okay. Oh gosh, if John's watching right now, it's one of my students. He's probably having a heart attack. Like, what are you doing? How do you know to do this? You know the drill, John. If you're feeling lost and confused, you can ask questions. He's just gonna be a little guy. We're gonna point these little fingers, or have like little claws. Let's kind of zoom in. Do a better job here. Just a little bit. And then I'll add fur and whatnot later. All right. Yep, looking about the way I want it to. Gorgeous. Okay, let's go ahead and start getting the Necromancer robes going. You know, I don't know if I'm going to use any pre-made assets. What's something spooky that I can add? I think I can make this into a little cape for him. That would be very cute. Again, a lot of these are super low poly and they're even single-faced. John, yeah, says, Mia, lol, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Yeah, I know you'd be panicking. It's okay. Don't panic. This is what happens when you get really comfortable creating and using a software. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, it says, Mia, can we have skulls and limbs poking out of the fur of the hamster? Probably. I think we're going to cover him with some different like bones and just general creepiness. I am going to have some of the like his feet poke out, maybe. No, I'm not. Because he's a hamster, I can take things that would normally be like, this is like a mini skirt, but on this hamster, it's going to be like, it's going to cover up like the entire model. We are going to be creating assets from scratch as well. But in the beginning, I really love using this like kit bashing technique because I can experiment with a bunch of shapes rapidly. I just need to make sure I don't make him look like a wraith. Like it needs to look like a hamster. Alrighty. I got this. I do think it'd be cool. I want to do that little like breastplate thing made of ribs, which I could have sworn I saved. I didn't. Ugh, lame. I did this grave cleric recently and like her weapon is a shovel and it just turned out so freaking cool. And I did that kind of breastplate. Like, oh, what's his name from Baldur's Gate? Ketheric? Thorm? Is that his name? I can't remember. The bad guy. One of the bad guys. Because he's hamster shaped, I'm going to need to make a lot of those from scratch anyway. We're not going to reuse any of these pieces here. Yeah, I'm not worried about this either. Anything else I want to grab? I might want to have some, like, of his little feet poking out, like he has little boots on or something. So I'll grab one of these. Just so I have it in case I want it. Oh, I love these. Alright, what else? I think we're set. Alright, let's get cooking. Didn't really use a lot of assets today, which makes sense because it's a hamster. I don't really make a whole lot of those. Is that the right direction? Yes. Which way do feet go? God, it's gonna be ridiculous. These are thigh-high boots, but on this hamster, it's like the entire body. And again, if a lot of it's not going to be visible, why bother? Oh, cute. Yeah, we're gonna need to have like a little hood for sure. I like the pauldrons. I'm not sure what to do with his little shirt yet. I do want to put a belt on this character. A really easy way to do that is use a curved strap snap brush. Ooh, maybe I'll do 2 different belts. Alright, here's one, and before I duplicate it a bunch of times, I'm going to be smart about this. Ooh, what is this topology? What is going on here? I don't love that, so we're going to just do it again. Behave. That's better. That looks normal. Alright, and before I duplicate the same belt a bunch of times, let's go ahead and detail just this one. I'm going to use the Z-modeler brush to insert a couple edge loops. Have you guys ever played as a Necromancer in any of like your tabletop games? That sounds so generic. It's like the Nintendo. I only play D&D 5th edition, but I know a lot of y'all play Pathfinder and stuff. And again, it doesn't have to be literally called a Necromancer. There's all kinds of different flavors and stuff. Like, I'm playing it's not a homebrew class. It's like an additional module. Anyway, where like the class is a tamer, which is pretty much like playing as a Pokemon trainer. It's very much so gotta catch them all vibes. But I can like resurrect things from the dead, so like a Necromancer, to make them my familiar again. So, yeah. Big fan. I want this to look a little less stiff, so I'm gonna bevel the edges. There we go. A little bevel can go a long way to making your models look less, or not models, but these shapes looking less, I don't know, less modeled. See how that looks a lot better than that? It's a subtle detail, but it really does help. There we go, I like that a lot. Alright, we're gonna add a belt buckle. Ooh, I have all kinds of really fun buckles. I got this like bucklet pack or something. I can't remember where I got this from, but something on ArtStation. I think it might have even been free. Which one of these feels necromancery? Oh, I like the circle. That's fun. We will add that little like extra part of the belt that like, you know, actually fits through, like tab part, later. Can we have a bindollar of finger bones or other bones as they're used to chew on? Oh my gosh, we can do some cool stuff like that. Just Lingle says about Empress and me, she's slowly building a big enough library to compete with Jared. Hank says, Mia, I've played Necromancer in D&D. He would threaten resurrection just to kill them again because the enemy was being such a dick. That's great. That's pretty metal. Cool. Alright, I like this. Now I can duplicate it a bunch of times and kind of get some cool effects. So I duplicated it without moving it, and I can now kind of like weave this belt in and out. I am going to delete the belt buckle because again, if it's hard surface, you know, it's not going to bend. So just add it after the fact. Otherwise it's going to look all squishy and weird. Alright, let's kind of move this around. And then I'm going to do just one more belt buckle. Or belt, not belt buckle. Lots of belts. Characters are just a bunch of belts, I swear to God. Belts and pouches. Like, oh, my character looks boring. Have you tried adding a belt? Perhaps a pouch. I need to be very clear, I am not joking. That is not a bad approach. Cool. We're gonna start getting some color here. Kind of like this sandy orange color will be the body of the hamster. Let's change our paintbrush RGB intensity to 100. Very good. All right, that's all the hamster color. And then now it's kind of like rich, dark purple. And then we'll contrast this with kind of like a reddish brown for the belt. I was thinking kind of a reddish brown, but now that I saw like that white, I kind of like that too. Now we'll go with a warmer color. Necrohamster. They have a Necrohamster game. Wow, they sure do. Alright, making progress here. And yes, we'll sculpt the head very soon. Bandolier of bones. Oh, I hear ya. Alright, what sort of like little shirt do I want to give him? And I do think he needs like some long sleeves. So to make the shirt, all I'm going to do is just kind of mask out the area that's going to be shirt shaped. And then I'll extract at 0 thickness. We'll ZBrush a couple times. And again, it's single-sided, so I always let people ask, like, isn't that too thin to be 3D printed? And I like, it's worse. It's not even real. If you look on the inside, not real. We add thickness later. Oh, that's very nice. People who are cheerful early in the morning should be boiled in beet juice. That's me. I'm cheerful in the morning. Saying. Now, I'm not like horribly peppy. I don't know, ask my husband. Maybe I am horribly peppy in the morning. Can't stop, won't stop. I did not expect the hamster memes today. That surprises me. Alright, we're gonna have some big dramatic sleeves. Same kind of approach for the shirt. You just mask a sleeve shape, extract. There you go. Are we a Loa list today? This is crazy. This is unprecedented. They've only been here on every single stream I've done for the last multiple months. How dare they miss a stream? Slacker. There says, Mia, do you wake up and you're just able to go immediately? Yes. Like, I drink coffee every morning, but it's not like a need. And I don't like get headaches if I don't drink coffee. His arms are a little long, aren't they? Let's go ahead and scoot them up. I'm just gonna cut off the deltoids. He doesn't need them. He doesn't lift. He's a hamster. All right, you just get a bicep and a very long forearm. Usually your arms will fall about mid-length of your thigh. We got some rules to break here though. Alright, we're adding some more interesting secondary forms here. Since I'm having this perfectly just like rounded on the edge, we're gonna start to kind of scraggle it up a bit. Much more Necromancer-y. Gonna give him kind of like big shoulders. And then we're gonna make this. I just think, whenever I think, that shape could be more interesting, I just duplicate what I have and put it on top. There you go, layers. I swear to God, it works so much better than it should. It feels kind of brain dead, but when in doubt, just duplicate the shape you made and move it around again. It'll be like, oh neat, visual interest. All right, we're gonna add some like ribs on his chest. I'm just gonna add 2 or 3, and I'm gonna have it taper automatically for me. I'll show you how. So use the curved tube brush, curved modifiers. Make sure size is enabled. Click on this little graph. FV just flips the graph and have like a gentle down negative slope. All this means, because I know people see graphs and they freak out, all this means is that as the curved brush continues, the size decreases. Make sense? So watch. Oh yeah, make sure the picker is from 1C to continuous Z. That way it actually follows your model. So as my curved brush continues, that line should be tapering. See? That's all it means. So by converse, the opposite, if I flip this graph, as it increases, the curve brush continues, the size will get bigger. So it'll just flip the taper. I think it's so important you guys understand this because I don't want my students to be afraid of graphs. All right, I like how that looks. Let's add a couple more. There we go. If you guys hear weird snoring in the background, it's real. It's my dog. He's a sleepy boy. Lovely. And I can grab my Move Topological brush to really easily kind of move these around. Neato. Just Single says, a Necromancer has a great opportunity to have skulls as its motif, especially oversized skulls like a giant crow skull, because hamster people are presumably smaller. I love that. We might give him a big, like, skull hat. Just Single says, Mia, talking about being a morning person in the morning, I officially play the accordion or morning revelry on the trumpet to wake up my wife. Or at least I did until she threatened to kill me. I was gonna say, oh my gosh, she not killed you. Look, when I say I'm a morning person, I'm not. I wake up quickly is what more so what I mean. Yeah, I'd be violent if someone did that. Sitter says, I mean, if you wake up and you can just stand up and start going, you're too peppy. Oh, then yes, too much pep. All the pep in step. You have to lay there for at least 5 minutes, lamenting why the long sleep didn't take you into its sweet embrace before your brain comes online. You can justify to continue existence. I mean, I don't just like jump out of bed. I can. I just kind of lay there for a bit though. Oh, there's Aloha. I'm here and just EP. Poor Aloha. Rest. Maybe like, I don't know, put a bunch of ice in Ziploc bags and lay in that. That's not the worst idea. I'm sorry, y'all weirdos in the UK do not have AC. It's terrible. It's 90 degrees Fahrenheit here today and extremely humid, but it is 75 in my house. I cannot imagine if it was just the same temperature as outside. I would, yeah. I do actually fairly well with the heat. I joke that I'm a lizard. But yeah. I definitely handle the heat much better than the cold. I'm terrible in the cold. I get pretty hateful when I'm cold. Fun fact. All right, we're gonna make these nails kind of like a whitish yellow so they contrast. That's not whitish yellow, that's just white. There we go. There we go. Spoopy. All right, this is looking quite different from where we started, if I do say so. All right, I drank a ton of water this morning. I need to use the restroom really quick. I'll be right back. back. Alrighty. This is going almost too well. Almost too productive. I'm liking all the Necromancer chat though. Slowly cleaning up my OBS scenes. There we go. A little improvement. And we continue. I think it's time to sculpt the head here. God, there's so many hamster memes. Beautiful. All right, what does a hamster look like and why is it different than a mouse? Okay, we're gonna have this at a super low resolution, so I'm using Dynamesh to achieve that. So Dynamesh at a resolution of 128, but that's dependent on the size of your scene. What I'm really looking at is how, see how this is 8,000 points, quite dense? And now it's less than 2,000, so I like quartered it. I want it to be low resolution because less polys, less problems. And I also want it to look adorable, so I don't want to put the eyes up here, it makes it look weird. The eyes are going to be, the lower they're on the face, the bigger the forehead, the cuter things tend to look. Also, large eyes. So I'm using my move brush to kind of just punch in some eyes. They need to be a little more on the sides of the head. I spend a lot more time like just looking at my model and thinking about where things go than just like frantically sculpting. Does that make sense? All right, let's move this little snoot out. I'm using the move brush and holding down Option to pull off this little snoot. And I'm just working on the main forms. I know there's gonna be a little nose here, so I'm gonna kind of like grab that. I'm really paying attention to the distance between the nose and the eyes. Generally speaking, the smaller the distance, the cuter it is. Now I'm using Damp Standard to kind of get this little mouth going. You see, got a little chin. This is going suspiciously well. Okay. There we go. And then the next big shape I need here are cheeks, brow bone, and ears. So let's go ahead and add that. Cheeks. Yeah, wider face, not as long as the nose, though not massively. Okay. And I'm also kind of anthropomorphizing it a little bit too, so it's gonna be not literal hamster, but yeah. All right. To add some more volume here, like a little brow bone of sorts. Smooth that down, and now ears. I think I can bring this in a little bit. There we go, good start. For the ears, I'm gonna add 2 cylinders on top of its head, make them the same color as the model, and I'm gonna put a big dent in them using my move brush. I'm gonna start kind of positioning them. They're not quite this round. I'm also gonna Dynamesh. And they kind of have this like flared shape. They're also a lot farther back on the head than I expect. They kind of come up too. What does a hamster look like? What? They actually kind of curl back on themselves too. The ears? Like, they close on themselves almost. Weird. Okay, that's gonna be tricky. All right, it is time to add eyeballs, and then I need to subdivide one time because see, like, so if John is still watching, I know John has lots of questions about subdiv. So does Empress. So see, like right here with the mouth, it's so low poly that if I just smooth, it just all disappears, and I really can't manipulate this anymore to get the shapes that I'm wanting. I've kind of maxed out what I can really do here. So I'm gonna hold Command D. I'm gonna subdivide once. You can do the same thing by going to geometry and just click divide. That's the same thing. I'm just using a shortcut for it. And now I can kind of build up these forms a little bit more. I'm gonna use Damp Standard brush. And you see how it looks really terrible? Just let things look bad. Relax. I know a lot of my students freak out. They're like, oh no, but it looks bad. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna do that. It's gonna do that. It's not done. I always joke that it's like you're baking in the kitchen, like you're baking a cake and you mix together like flour and raw eggs. You just start eating the batter. I'm like, what are you doing? Bake your cake. All right. Gonna add a lot of cheek. And the nose, I might even add as a separate subtool because I already can feel like I'm kind of having to fight it here. Whenever I feel like I don't have enough of a mesh to have control over it, I will usually just make it a new subtool. God, this looks really scary. And again, I don't care if he looks a little ugly. I haven't decided how cute or how scary this is going to be. All right, let's make the nose a bit pinkish. I want more on the gray side though. I don't want it like literally just pink. And I'm Dynamashing it to be nice and low res, just like before. Because I have the opportunity here to make this a really silly stylized face, you know? John says, Mia, it's hard to let things go look bad. You have to though. It's non-negotiable. You'll get better at it, I promise. I think it's fun. I'm more concerned about when it looks, what I freak out about when I'm sculpting, this is my panic point, okay? Is when it looks kinda good and I have to figure out how to make it look all the way good. I'm like, fuck, I don't know. But when it looks terrible, I'm like, oh, this is easy. I know what's wrong with this. Well, for one, it doesn't have eyeballs, so we can start there. See, like this is the easy part, where it's kind of like just a game to spot the difference of like, what looks bad, now fix. Yeah. Sager says, Mia, I heard an anecdote this weekend that had a good punchline. You're not good enough to get mad. Oh my God, I just don't have the balls to say that to most of my students. I think that all the time. I think that exact phrase all of the time. And I'm like, I can't say that to people. Like I can say it on stream, but can you imagine if I DM'd one of my students in response to their feedback? Because I have students that, some are more emotional than others, but I have had students DM full little meltdowns, totally serious, about art that they're upset about. And I'm like, my thoughts exactly, I'm like, you're not good enough to be this mad. What is wrong with you? Like, you're not being paid for this. It's just a hobby. Have fun. What are you doing? Who hurt you? Empress says, yeah, Mia, here you divide because you already Dynamashed to get the shape you wanted, right? If it still doesn't look right, just make it a separate subtool if applicable. Yes. Yes. You got it. You got it. It's clicking. You're doing it. Sater says, I think it's about how you say it, but yes, it's tricky to navigate. Honestly, I have gotten less tactful as I've gotten older in some ways, and I think it's saved me a lot of heartache. I have found that people that are going to be offended and be shitheads will just be offended no matter how nicely I say it. And if I say it good enough, normal people that I will get along with, will take the benefit of the doubt and be like, okay, that hurt my feelings because it's art, and art's very intimate and personal. I get that. And they'll be able to kind of put that to the side and be like, hey, I'm feeling really frustrated. Can you help me out? As opposed to like, you made me feel this way. Again, I've had some crazies. John, Mia slowly sinks into my hole. No, you're okay. Emperor says, I know Mia has told me this in a nice way. I have. Look at this little face. Look how cute he's looking. I also kind of want to give him like this long, ugly, like nose like this, kind of. Depends how old and grouchy we're going to make this guy. Like, here we go. That is better for what this character is going to be. Also, this is looking very flesh toned and not hamster colored at all. It's really kind of grossing me out. So we're going to add like a two-tone effect. He looks like a monk. Anyway, two-tone colors happen here. Gonna warm this up just so it stops looking so... Ugh. You know what I mean. He looks fleshy. That's helping a little bit because they have this cute little white face. What I should have done, or would have been a little bit easier, is just to make the whole thing one color. There we go. and then lighten this section. There we go. That's less work. Okay, that's a little better. Again, the poly paint doesn't matter. I do it because it's fun, but this is for 3D printing. I technically don't have to do it. Aloha says, I don't like Hammy. I'm not gonna give him eyes then. Fleshy, the Necro Hamster. Oh my gosh. Well, he doesn't like you either, Aloha. Judgment. Okay, no, we are gonna give him eyes. Okay. To do that, I'm gonna grab IM Primitive, change my brush depth to something that's not floating up in the nether, and I can just click and drag. If you do this on your model and you're like, it didn't work. It didn't work because you had subdivision levels. If you have subdivision levels, you cannot use IMM brushes on it. Just delete subdiv or grab it, a piece that does not have subdiv. So I just selected the ears and then inserted the eyes. Empress says, this whole process of learning has been so fun. You don't realize how much you do know until you let go and someone is there to give you direction. Exactly. Okay, it looks a lot better with eyes. Why are you not eyeballing? There we go. Purple eyes. No, I think you'd be a green eye. Yeah. John, an ear voice. Okay. Beautiful. We're gonna give him spooky eyes. Oh yeah. Beautiful. We're also gonna give him eyelids, and here's how I like to do that. You just duplicate the eyeball and you split it in half. Let's first make it fur toned or whatever. There we go. Okay. Help myself out here. Nah, we'll just go straight across. Sweet, and then I kind of just clean these up, close holes, and then ZBrush by half. I want the eyelids to be really low poly, just makes them easier to manipulate. Sweet, and then I will inflate it a little bit so we can see it. Again, it's all jagged, so I polish by features, close holes, and then ZBrush with half, which will take the current poly count, and I'll try to reduce it by half. If you don't turn adaptive size to 0, it will fight you a little bit more. There we go. Hello, you know how he didn't like Hammy? He doesn't like you either. Look at him side-eye you. And we continue. He looks kind of sleepy. And I look kind of sweet. Again, eyelids are very, very powerful. I'm kind of using this lower eyelid as like an eye bags almost to make him look kind of tired. I do need to lower this point here and bring this down. That's about right. Let's kind of get a structure on these eyebrows, or the brow bone a little better. I'm gonna kind of like just strike a line here and here. It's like construction lines, and now I can kind of grab around them to change the expression here. Kind of just turned out looking like a big bar, and I don't want that, so I'm gonna use my smooth brush to kind of take the bite off of that. Oh my god, he looks horrifying. He looks brainy. John says, Mia, I notice people go back and forth between the transpose line and get 3D gizmo. Is that just for experience? Is there a purpose? I find transpose hard to use. I didn't use transpose line for a long time. If you're like, what is John talking about? Because that's actually a more advanced question. When you click on W, it brings up this thing. This is the 3D gizmo. You can use it to stretch your model, to move it around, all kinds of stuff. You can actually click Y on your keyboard and you will get this, which is a transpose line. You can do the same things with it. It's just not as intuitive. I like to use a transpose line to get like easier deformations when they're organic. For example, if I use the 3D gizmo for that, I'd have to do this, then this. I can't really get the same effect. The transpose line's gonna confuse the crap out of you for a long time because each circle does something different. I know. And then if you click the letter R, you'll get different behavior as well. Now it's going to be in rotate mode. If you hold spacebar, you can actually see what mode you're in or not. I'm full of lies. Just kidding. I just have it memorized, I guess. Anyway, yeah. It's a lot. Don't worry about transpose line. We're gonna give him a hood instead of trying to figure out how to fix how disturbing his head looks. How's that? Oops, that's not what I wanted. Nope. That's not what I wanted at all. All right, we're gonna mask his head and then extract at 0 thickness. There we go. He needs a big festering wart on his cheek, like a beauty mark. Maybe he does. I know for now. Ooh, oh my god, the purple eyelids. Total accident. I absolutely love it. We're keeping it. Okay. We're gonna inflate the hood that I created here a little bit so it sits on his head. And now we're gonna move it around. And yes, I'm gonna have his ears just like magically poke out of the hood. Yeah, that's how we're gonna handle that. Oh my gosh. If you're just tuning in, or if you haven't looked up in a while, now's a good time to look up. If you're wondering why we have this woman here, that's because technically that's what we started with. We're gonna adjust our lighting scene to be a little more fun. There we go. I'm just playing with lighting here because what a fun character. That is moodier than I'm wanting. Whenever I put a hood on a character, I usually have to add a third like bounce light on the bottom here just so it doesn't look so dark. No, that's good. That's fine as is. He's very cute. He needs a rat pelt for a hood. Scroll down and reference. Oh my gosh. Hammy the hamster is scaring me. It's okay, we've come a long way. This is where we were just not that long ago. Come on, Discord, don't be ridiculous. Yeah, we've improved. Check it out, right? This is better. Discord, go put yourself away. There we go. Ah, there we go. That's where I want it. I think a skull on his head looked really good too. I'll probably do that. What kind of skull? Do I have? I know I have some of those in my asset library. Ideally, again, it'd be something kind of like a small animal, like a bird. I have an entire horse skull. That would not work. Let's bring in my items asset library, and I think I have a little crow that I can use. Here we go. It's like a really loosely blocked out bird skull, and this is exactly why I keep a bunch of assets, because now I can like really quickly see if I'm gonna like this or not. We're gonna put it roughly in the center of our scene, and we're just gonna put it on his head. Again, it's trickier to get this to look good than you might think. I don't think I'm gonna like this. I do want something, but nah. Micah says the part holding together the cloak already looks like a little lower jaw, so a top skull on the hood would work well. Yeah, I would need to, if I'm gonna do this, I'd actually have to remove even like the bottom part of the beak to really make this work. Micah says, I think it'd be more befitting if you had a predator skull to show how fierce they are. Aren't birds predators? Birds of prey? But no, I hear what you're saying. Like a wolf skull or something. I don't want to sculpt like a literal brand new thing. Oh, that's fun. But that just covers his whole face. I mean, he still has to, we still want it to be a hamster. Also this bird skull. Okay, I'm not liking that. But I like the idea. I think I'm going to put a human skull on top of his head, and I'm going to modify that. And as far as what animal it's actually going to be, I have no idea. It's probably not going to look like any real animal by the time that we're done with it. I'm going to remove the bottom jaw and all of these teeth. Ah. There we go. And we're going to work with this. This looks really goofy, but again, I think we're onto something. I do like the idea of the bird skull pauldrons. If I can't figure this out, we will just put the skull here, and that will also work. But I do think having it literally sit on top of his head is hysterical. Let's make a couple of these look like fangs. Which one? This is so silly and fun. Yeah, that's kind of more so what I'm going for here. Oh, I guess I have 2 copies of the hood. I didn't realize that. I'm not mad about it. You guys know I like layers. Taking a little break from the skull right now to add a little bit of fluff to the ears and just some more texture. Because the face is so low poly, it's starting to look disturbing. It happens. Oh, what kind of noses do they have? Actually quite simple, it looks like. And I have a couple, just a little slit. Okay. I want it to be kind of like crabby looking and tired. Maybe make these little cheeks a little whiter. And then maybe some more fluff. I like using the move brush to do that. What if I give him like a little hamster goatee? Oh, I don't hate it. Let's see, Slater says, I still wish he had like Po from Kung Fu Panda proportions. I just wanted to have like a big old belly and like wee little arms that can barely touch across his belly. It's not too late for that. It's not too late. Oh, that's ridiculous. Insider continues, also, I didn't mean to do a mask like in the rough. I meant to get that shape because it would complement the composition and shape and curve of the head. I think I know what you're saying. And I'm not meaning to do that literal animal shape, but yeah, like just that curve. Which I think I would need to move this mouth around somewhere. We'll see. I'm just having fun. I mean, we do not have fun here. Misspoke. No fun. Only problems. Oh, I get what you mean about this one. It clicks. I understand now. He looks more gerbil-y, I feel like, than Hamster. I think I'm just making him do an Ewok slowly but surely. I do think having a little cut in the ear would be adorable. Oh, and the hood? Oh, it doesn't matter. That's such a small detail. I'm not worried about that. It can matter later, but this early on, it's so small. It's not going to affect anything. But that being said, similar thought. I do think it'd be fun to have a little like slit in the ear. I always go the wrong way. We'll make it really big and dramatic so it really stands out. I think the first one I did look the best. I guess smaller is better here. I think that is super funny. All right, we're gonna go to Transpose Master so I can move things around and make him look a little bit more hamstery. I'm gonna remove the skull as well. So let's go to Z plugin, Transpose Master, T-Pose Mesh. All right, here we go. I think the face is fine. I can do better. Turn on symmetry. I'm just gonna go ham. Anyway, with my move brush here. And I'm seeing like the relationship between the ears. Also, I'm not asking for help, just in case anyone starts like typing an essay about hamster anatomy. Anyway, we're grabbing the ears here. And I'm seeing like the relationship in my references of like the ears to the head. I have them a little high up, so I can kind of move them down. And they're quite turned back. There we go. I also need to pinch that. They're looking a little chonky. There we go. Just fixing one thing at a time. I can tell I have a lot of differences between my references and what I actually created, which is funny and cute, but like, it's not really what I wanted. What's nice about this, I can hide pieces. God, he looks like that horrible like cartoon mouse thing, you know? I need to put these eyes higher in his head. I originally did this because I want him to be cute still, and now I'm like, no. These like weird jowls I gave him are not working. I was kind of like treading a line between like how stylized I want to look, and now I'm like, I feel like we lost the hamster plot a little bit. Also, the more I work with these ears, the more I don't like them. That's okay. I can always just redo them. Okay. Why are you so horrifying looking? Look better. See, John, this is when it's difficult. It doesn't look bad. It just looks fine. It could look better. And now it's like all the subtleties of figuring out how to make things look nice. This is when you panic. Alright, we're gonna transpose. We're gonna put these changes on it, which did improve it. But I got bigger plans for this. That helped. That absolutely helped. He looks like a brain hamster version. He does, and I hate him. Sorry, little dude. These are not the droids I was looking for. Alright, ZBrush. We're gonna clean up this ear shape again. This is a reference I like for feathers and bird skull. Not Necromancer, but some good motifs. Oh, yeah. Oh, I do like that. That is really strong. Yeah, I went past... There we go. I was missing this little curve right here. I moved on a little too quickly. I'm also going to merge the eyes and eyelids down so I can fix their position. They actually are quite far away from the head. We're going to move these eyes up. Wow, that's horrifying. I'm going to crush my subdivs all the way back down to the lowest possible because I've decided I'm going to redesign the head. I'm not worried about the expression. We are worried about proportions. I'm also going to hide the nose. And I don't know what the side looks like. Also, their eyes are kind of on the sides of their head. I'm missing that too. Ah, interesting. Which means that the gap here, this is interesting one I always have trouble with. It's the gap between the corner of an eye to the rest of the head. I always make that too wide, regardless of the creature. I don't want help. I'm good. I'm having fun. But if you want to discuss decorations, let's do it. John says, my head would be 4 million polys by now. It would. Self-roast. I'm learning to add my eggs and flour first now. Good, I'm proud of you. Need to narrow this in. This is gerbils versus hamsters. Mine's looking mousy. But I also had kind of that jowl thing going on. Oh, this is looking better. This is looking cuter. Also, their ears are so turned on the back of their head. They're like this. Have any of y'all started like D&D games recently? Or Pathfinder or whatever? Because this makes me want to play as a Necromancer. Again, I kind of have Necromancer abilities with my current character, but I really haven't played that many like magic casters or anything to do with spells. I was really kind of like confused by the whole concept of spell slots, even though I realize it's not that confusing. I just didn't really want to keep track of it. And now I feel like all I want to play is casters. Though I will say, like, I think some of the most fun I've ever had playing a D&D game was as a fighter. Fighters are super fun. And rogues are just, like, broken in the best way. Oh, this is so much cuter! Awesome. And, like, scarier in a different way. Good. This is more of the look that I wanted for this. And I'm also starting to run more into like, it just looks like a mouse problem, and I'm happy about that because that's more the problem I wanted to have. Monkey says, I'm starting a Daggerheart game. Oh, cool. Tell me about that. When you mentioned like Daggerheart, nothing super comes to mind, if I'm being honest. Like I know it's a thing, I know I've read about it. It's like a newer module, right? I don't really know anything about it. Ooh, spooky eyes. Ah, that's kind of fun. I like that. They're looking a little cockeyed. There we go. That's worse better. Nice. Monkey said, we actually did like 4 sessions, but schedules are weird and we're about to do a new game with players who are available. Ah, gotcha. Module? Them's fighting words. Have I started something in the chat? Okay, so the other thing here is that there's so much forehead. Empress nailed it. They're like, this is like a big brain version. And you're right. So we're gonna this is a hamster. We got no room for thoughts. We're gonna just plate that head all the way down. See the before and after? We're gonna keep going. I have this same problem, there we go, with lizards. I have a problem with lizards as well. And like, don't be wrong, there is like, you don't have to just completely crush their head into the nothing. So I'm using my trim dynamic brush to kind of find my planes here, and I really like how this is turning out. This is looking a lot better. Oh yeah. It's a new rule set, talking about Daggerheart, by Darrington Press, the company that Critical Role started. Oh, cool. It's a 2d12 system with hope and fear. Interesting. You should check it out. I really should. I'm intrigued. This has improved so much. Yay. Good job, me. There we go. So now I need to get this hood fitting. Empress said, ooh, I did a good thing. I was just reminded of Pinky in the Brain. No, that's exactly what I was trying to reference to. I was like, this looks like that ugly mouse giant head thing. And no, you nailed it. That was very helpful. And once you said it, I could like see it in my head. And I'm like, yep, that's what I didn't want. Fix. Oh, it's so much better. Heck yeah. Oh, that's perfect. Okay. Thank you. Somebody get Empress some more poing. Empress is gonna make y'all look poor. Unless she gambles at all, then maybe not. And yeah, the little goatee that I gave it was when things started to go off the rails. Hamsters do not have enough chin for a goatee. Unless it's like the smallest goatee you ever did see. I do think the eyes are a little far apart. Yeah, let's kind of scoot in this little eye socket. Drama. Let's scoot this in. And we're gonna fix the eyelids so they actually come down on the sides. That's really scary looking. Help. I'm gonna have to go back to just the normal eyeball. And we're gonna have to build eyelids again. They lost the plot a little bit. Don't be afraid to redo things. Wow, these are spheres, I thought. What is going on with you? There we go. Monkey says, but yeah, the whole character creation part of Daggerheart is a lot of fun. Honestly, parts of it should be used in any role set. The way you like world build and character connection and experiences and all that, just awesome, you know? That sounds awesome. Yeah, this is what I had before, and I was like, I hate him. This is looking a lot cuter. Satyr said, I tried to help, and you told me to go fly a kite. I did. I don't know, like, it's... I'm good. I'm good. I'll let you guys know if I want references and help. I'm pretty clear about that. I don't want to encourage a community of backseat sculpting. In some ways, you can really create the monster. You know what I mean? I like this because he looks a little like unimpressed. I need to think about what kind of expression I'm going to give him before I do eyebrows. That might be a good idea to have set ahead of time. That helps. That's cuter. And then I always forget about this little tear duct area. Oh, that helps a ton. Okay, I didn't quite shape it right, but getting the right idea. Yeah. All right. All right. I added eyelids too soon. That's what it was. Satyr, you have offended me. Wounded I am. That's okay, you're on strike anyway. Are there really any consequences for this? Alrighty, we're gonna make eyelids. Hey, I didn't call them eyebrows. May a hamster bite your finger upon your next random encounter. If by some odd chance that does happen, I will have to let you know. Now that I know what kind of expression I want to give him, this is turning out a lot stronger. Oh, he's unimpressed. Alright, I have no idea what the side of a hamster head looks like. I would like a reference of that. This is your time to shine. Need a picture of a hamster from the side. We're gonna get rid of the nose because it's just tacked on there and not making any sense. I think it's gonna be more like this, but I really don't know. And then I also, again, kind of like anthropomorphized it a little bit too. Ah, it's actually already looking better. I like that too. I get some more confident lines here. Yeah. No mumbling. Some of the hamster memes higher up. They're kind of tilted, so oh my gosh, it's just perfectly smooth. Wow. Okay, well, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, it just looks like this. Like that. I can find a happy medium. Again, because we're doing this kind of like hamster folk, anthropomorphized blend. John said, Mias, or you have to like grease the pan stage, or are you still adding ingredients? I'm trying to get a stages workflow. Here's the problem with that. You kind of go back and forth between different stages, and this specific workflow, I like got all the ingredients in, I started like heat it up, and I threw it all away, and I did it again. So we're kind of past the ingredients workflow. Think ingredients, like do you have all of like your main secondary forms? That's like the in-between blurry spot. So like I have a nose, a mouth, ears, that kind of stuff. It's kind of like, I don't know, have you ever held a fish? If you like grab a fish really hard, it's gonna like zoom out. You know, you have to like do this weird like soft grab thing, or you don't like just crush it. You know what I'm trying to say? Like the more you try to like pin this down to exact stages, the more the fish is gonna just shoot out of your hands. It's admirable what you're trying to do. But honestly, I think you need to do less study and more practice. Go make some art. Go work on your potion rack. Great questions, though. Oh, I might give him like these big eyebrows. I don't know. I might give him a shorter chin. Yeah. Really start pushing his head around. Again, I got this gap here. I always make it too big. John says, totally understand. Nice. Another joke I like to make is that if there was an answer, you know, where I can like really boil things down to like the exact stages, I'd be like a bajillionaire by now. The answer is that there isn't one. You can like roughly get it into the right stages, you know? Emperor said, while working on my slime project, I took an interest in making weapons. I found Mia Sculpt with me, and it works as my daily practice. You're developing such a healthy workflow and like productive workflow with that, which is like bonus points. So proud of you. All right, I would like to add a gnarly scar. So I'm going to kind of map it out using Damn Standard. It's got to be really dramatic to show up nicely. Yeah, something kind of like that. And I can build up the edges. Also using Damn Standard, but instead adding material instead of taking it away. I think this looks like a mouse. I don't think I quite nailed the hamster. You know what? That's okay. I did my best. I mean, I know how to make this more mouse-like. So that's good, I guess. Okay, it's time to add some more details to this. We're moving right along. This worked out so much better than I could have expected. So that's gonna stay pretty much just as it is. And now we're gonna start detailing the other aspects. All right, we're gonna close holes. Actually, first I'm gonna crease, then close holes. And then I'm gonna add like a cuff on the side here. And then I'm gonna Q mesh and do it again. And that way I can get kind of like a taper as opposed to just like a hard line. It kind of has like a, again, like a taper on it. I like that. Then I'm gonna insert an edge loop here. and add yet another extrusion on the edge, just to best separate it. It makes it easier to paint too. There we go. And then to make this design a little more clear, I'm gonna make this a slightly lighter purple. That didn't do what I wanted it to at all. Why are these different colors? Make that a bit darker. Are you working at all? Yes, okay. I'm overthinking this. They're just sleeves. Dark purple. Fuck it. Alright, looks good. And then go on the underside here, make sure that it is fitting the arm. Good. Put a little dent. Let's go ahead and crease and then subdivide. Gorgeous. Add a little dent. It's such a small detail, I swear it makes a huge difference. Like this before and after, you need it. All right, let's add some seams. Oh, we got some really dumb creases that happen here. That's okay, I can just flatten them out. And we'll put a seam right down the top. I would like for it to just be here. Perfect. Be able to select that poly group. Nice. Let's add some fabric folds. We have some coming from the armpit. These are gonna kind of squish together. I encourage you to go heavier handed with the fabric folds than lighter. Otherwise they just look lumpy. You can clean it up later. You can even just redo it later, but cleaner. But when you're trying to figure them out and like map out some folds, just make sure you're saying something with your fabric folds. Oh, I forgot about the skull on top of his head. Totally forgot. We will come back to that. I want to add some really big fabric folds on the cuff here. There we go. And then a few more kind of like sweeping from this point of tension. These can be a little lighter. Why? Because as you get farther away from the thing that's pinching it, the fabric fold just gets softer naturally. I don't know, the force dissipates. Oh, I mean, all those fabric folds can't even see, because... Okay, that was disappointing. I don't know what I expected. All right, and then on this center piece, we're gonna add some really like simple little details and designs. And these, the whole point of these is just to complement the bones. Now I'm gonna add fabric folds that kind of like scritch back and forth. Almost like a corset, but it's not. This is one of the very, very few times I will not turn off symmetry when going over the center line. I'm gonna add some wear and tear to these bones by using trim dynamic. I'm kind of like click and tap. They might get a little on the mushy side. I'm okay with that. I can always come over to geometry clay polish to kind of clean it up. Where is that? There it is. Sweet. And then as like a final little touch, just make them a little asymmetrical. Empress says, ooh, I learned a new word. What word? Ooh, makes me think the eye with the scar will be replaced with some magic artifact. That's a great idea. I might do that. Satyr says, plus the brain is not naturally inclined to greeblies, and that's such an important part of hard surface visual interest. What are greeblies? Is that the new word that Satyr or Empress learned? Micah said, the force dissipates, huh? That explains Obi-Wan in Star Wars A New Hope. I immediately thought of Star Wars, I said that too. I don't want these too asymmetrical because they are, you know, ribs, so maybe we will not do that. I do need to move these around a little bit so all three are visible, because because when the top ones aren't visible, it's kind of hard to tell what I'm even trying to say here. There we go. No. All right. We're just going to work on one side because the center line of symmetry is making this annoying. There we go. And now I can just mirror and weld after I get something that I like. Yeah, like that. All right, I made progress on that. Let's move on. This is cool. Also, I think Alo was on something earlier where it's like, well, you guys take the skull and just put it on the shoulder. Yeah, I'm not liking it on its head very much. I'm probably gonna end up doing that. And then we get some nice asymmetrical goodness, right? All right, we're gonna add some thickness to these little cowl things. Cowl, shawl. Cowls are on your head. I'm gonna make these really thick and chunky because these are 3D printed, but we can make it look less ugly and obvious by going to the underside here and putting a nice little bevel on here. Then you get like kind of the best of both worlds. See? Let me show you from the front. So here's the before, chunky, after. Still chunky, but better. And then you can make it even better by pinching the edge. And then so you get all that nice 3D printability without it being chunky mess. And I don't mind that this can kind of like smooth out as I add subdivision levels. This is an area that I don't need creases on. I'll come through later with my move brush to kind of add some tatters to this. And yeah, this does pose a 3D printing issue, so be liberal with them. I like to use a combination of kind of like starting the shape with my move brush, and then I come through with either the knife brush to really take chunks out of it, or even a noise modifier. Yeah, mantle is probably a better word for it too. And then just a reminder, we layer up shapes, and that's what I'm doing right here. Got the main shape, then added some weathering to it, or some like tatters, but I'm not going in with super fine detail right away, it's just gonna get lost. So now that we have this, maybe, oh, I haven't saved once. Haha, feeling brave. Necromancer hamster folk. Boop. I hurt Sator's feelings. I love how everyone's telling you what to do with the character's design, and all I do is give you the facial shapes breakdown reference, but I am backseating. Nah, that's different. So I can actually explain that. You gave me like an anatomical reference of like the hamster head, and I'm like, I'm trying to like walk a line there and like figure that out for the first time. Meanwhile, like what Micah said was more like flavor text, like, oh, like this eye could become like an artifact, right? Because of the scar. Like, I'm trying to think of it. I had like creation, like inspiration, not criticism. Does that make sense? Like play with the design and not crunch. Creativity, not crunch. You and Torben are one and the same. Oh, low, below, Aloha. I guess the reason why, like a better way to say why I discouraged that one was because I don't want to get into the grid of like hamster anatomy. Does that make sense? That's not fun. That takes the fun out for me. And like, I know it can be better. It always can be better. I would rather have you guys put forth ideas that are like more creativity based, like building the story of the character. I know I'm answering your question like super seriously. I know you're not offended, like you're fine. But I really think it's a good point. So I wanted to be extra clear on why. I think in some ways Mini Blaze was the monster I created, and I'm trying to prevent that again. Not that you would ever become a Mini Blaze. You get my point? Yeah. It's because Micah is based. It's true. Satyr, it's fine. I'm just having my menses. Apparently, are you making a period joke? Oh, that's great. You heard it here first, folks. Micah said, yeah, it's more because I'm a writer and game designer, a lot of lore, not much of a visual artist. Which, again, I love that. Don't come for my job. Give me that lore. And again, it totally depends on the stream. There's definitely streams where I've straight up looked at the camera and been like, help, I don't know how to do this. All right, and the last thing that I want to do here is start like removing fabric all the way through. I have this can be trickier. Let's see if I can use a knife brush that's a circle and if it'll actually do what it's supposed to. It usually hates it. Stroke must cross silhouette of the mesh in order to cut it. See, that's annoying. I want you to like Boolean for me. Okay. What if I mask it on both sides? Will you be like cool? It won't. Watch. It's not gonna be cool about it. You can do this with a Boolean. I just don't want to. Like this. And then don't close holes that way. Close holes like this way. If I change close holes. You can modify the function of close holes a little bit here. Okay, yeah, this is not gonna work. You can bridge it. I'm not going to. It's not worth the effort. All right, time for tertiary details. Sarah said, Mia, I don't know what you just did to make those cuts, but it was cool. I would have talked about it if I didn't have to explain to you. No, I'm just kidding. I use a knife brush. So I'll use like the move brush to kind of like get the shape initially a little bit, and then I'll use the knife brush. Aloha. Aloha's waking up a little bit, y'all. I know this is just like a heap of texture. You know what? I like it. More. Can't stop, won't stop. That was so lame. All right, last but not least, we're gonna do this little, this is a cowl. Goodness. All right, we're gonna need to put a really dramatic bevel to fix that problem. Come on, be cool. You are not one, do not pretend like you can't auto group. You are not one mesh, you're two different meshes. Oh, for the love of God. Okay. Why do you think that you're the same mesh? You're not. Did I zero mesh you and you like welded points? See? Look, here you know you're two different meshes. Fine. I will delete the top one. You will only be one mesh. There. I will make it not possible to be a pain in the butt. Alright. Now I gotta fix this bevel. By a lot. All right, come on the underside here and pinch, pinch. There we go. Get like a little point to the hood. I think it looks funny. Alright, stop beveling. It's time to extrude. There we go. Neat. Details. Stuff. I gotta make this one eyeball a different color. Not like that. That was a lame way to do that. We're gonna do it like this. So we're gonna make it really dark. Darker. And then we're gonna use the paintbrush to add like spooky glow. There we go. That's nice. It's so weird. I like it. What if the whole eyeball just glowed? That's fun. All right, gonna add the same kind of wear and tear we just added to the mantle, but now here. Fixing up some shapes, making the shape shapier. Nice. And then some fabric folds. All right, we'll be wrapping up Tavern Keeper's Craft very shortly here and then starting happy hour. So any students that have questions or work for me to review, DM those to me now so I can review them on stream. Everybody likes Skull Pauldron. I like how squished his head got though. What happened to you? There we go. I do think it looks funny on top of his head, and I don't hate it, but I've decided against it. Alright, I'm gonna add some fun things. Definitely needs a book on his hip. Just like general spooky goodness. This is where we were earlier in the stream, by the way. Just a reminder. We've made some improvements. It says painted book, and it is in fact not painted. Okay. Should this book be flipped? No. No. It's good. He needs a wheel on his hip. A wheel? Circle of life? He needs a base. I'll tell you that. Yeah, it is better on the shoulders than the head. I agree. That was getting a little too tribal-y, I think. Oh, just the spine up? You know, I never do that. That looks so good. I literally never do that with my characters. Thanks. Thank you. Oh, this is so freaking fun. What if I made the ravens, like, you know, dead? It's like gross greenish sand. I did that the hardest way possible. Oh well. Oh my god, he's so cute, y'all. Micah said, I'll be heading off shortly. If I love how Necromancer is looking, I shall call him George and hug him and pet him and squeeze him. I'm so glad. You've been so much fun today, Micah. Thanks for hanging out. There it is. We're not quite done yet. I'm pretty happy with this in just 2 hours. All right, this is not wanting to decimate, which means it's got some funk going on. We're gonna click Fix Mesh first and then check it out. It's gonna work. See? It's like I've done that once or twice. Hey, don't get rid of my poly paint. We agreed that we're gonna keep poly paint. Seriously? All right, cool. I was like, hey. I have this belt buckle kind of going across all of them, and honestly, it looks better than it should. I'm gonna just be like, what buckle is that for? All of them. Don't worry about it. So I'm gonna duplicate this and see if I can get that little tab action going on. That's going the wrong way. That is literally the wrong way. That's better. I don't think that improved the design in literally any way. Okay, better. It's fine. Might get rid of it later. We'll see. But I do know I want more bones. I think I have a skeleton brush. I also have memories of thinking I have a skeleton brush and I don't. Ooh, I do. Neato. I think it'd be cool if he had something super recognizable and creepy all over him, like a bunch of hands. I don't know. Now I feel like I don't want the skull. Now I feel like I just want hands everywhere. Especially if one of the hands was like posed. You know? What about hands and skulls? Oh my god. He's about to be just absolutely covered, guys. This is gonna go off the rails. Yes. Hands. Cool. Fucking cool. A bunch of paws. The paws of his siblings. Is that really sad or really sweet? I'm not sure. Monkey says he started his life in a cage with his many, many siblings. They just ran the wheel every day, all day. They were fed when Giant Man deemed they were worthy of pellets, so some of them ate each other. That's when Ginny decided to kill all of his siblings before they ate each other, and studied necromancy and awakened his siblings eternally as they broke the wheel to escape this cage. Jesus Christ. It does fit the lore. Heck yeah. Okay. On a serious note, that was so metal. That was great. How many hands are too many hands? I feel like this hand should be grabbing the book. Okay, that's gonna stay there no matter what. That's confirmed hand. And then these hands, I think, or paws, I think he's got one hands, are gonna be more on the hip. I'm gonna bring back the skull. Okay, what I need to do is sculpt a hamster skull, but I don't want to. So, can I make this skull work somehow? Yeah, there we go. I just want it to be like small. It doesn't need to be some like big thing. Oh, duh. Duh. I have figured it out. Nope. There we go. Little centerpiece. Be cool. Isn't that crazy how much personality starts coming in from these two? Hey, Toda. Hello, hello. We're making a necro hamster. Don't tell me it looks like a mouse. I will literally cry on stream. This is as good as it's gonna get. He needs a staff. I'm gonna go with this. Yeah. Bandolier of severed hand paws. Hell yeah. Gross. Alright, gonna get some poly paint on here. Also going to just loosely polygroup this because I already know I'm gonna want to change the color. And make that brighter. Yeah, it's kind of doing the thing. Good enough. Nope. No. Yeah. There we go. I thought this was an Aussie tribute. That's actually really sweet. And like, no, it's not. All right, we need more paws. We also need some little strappies. I'm gonna do this really quickly. Good enough. And then kind of move them around. And now add stuff. This is disgusting and amazing and admirable and tedious and impressive. That's so many things. Oh, that's cool. Wow, that would take forever. Is that a bunch of string? You guessed it. More paws. It's kind of difficult to pose both of them, so let's just delete that. Polygroup. Move. There we go. Just Nicholas back. Welcome back. What'd I miss? Hamster lore. These are his siblings. Turned out really metal. Alright, let's break some more symmetry. Anyone have any questions? Any student questions? Because I feel like a lot happened at the end here. And it makes them, you know, oh my gosh, mustache. Anyway, it makes the character look so much cooler very quickly, but I did things in a very specific, you know, order. And I backtracked when I felt like I needed to backtrack. I think there's a lot you could potentially learn from this stream, but if you don't understand why I'm doing things, then you're not going to learn anything. So, ask questions, please. If you're like, wait, why? How? We're going to do my feather technique here, but I'm going to use it to make little rounded fur chunks. Maybe. I'm just trying stuff out. The face is lagging a little bit. Mumbling, some would say. I am some. That's what I would say. Ooh, let's just put a fur brush on here. Once I get the secondary forms going. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Emperor says, no questions. Just been learning a lot. Good, that works too. Yeah, okay. Fit to this face without requiring a lot of effort. Damn it. Oh, that's kind of gnarly. It's kind of cool. Yeah, there we go. John says same. I learned a lot this stream. Good. It was a quieter stream, so I especially was happy to kind of break down topics a little further. Okay, he's too hairy. I went too far. Now he looks like freaking Paddington. Damn it. No. Alright, we're gonna just leave it alone. Cool. More asymmetry. That's becoming like part of my workflow where I'm like, okay, just take everything and start smushing it. I love this hand reaching over and grabbing the book. I think it's really cool. All right, gonna do a little splash page and then I'm gonna go on break. Where's the belt? There we go. Like always, had a lovely time with y'all today. Spooky. Fun little render to kind of tie all that together. All right, do we have any extra questions or things? I don't see any student review work today. I might just end the stream here, honestly. I got some errands I gotta run anyhow. Toda says, I have an IK rig, inverse kinematics, for those that are not sure what that means, from Quick Rig and my own joints. I have a working IK system for the legs with the knee rotating properly, but the arm just refuses to do the same. The elbow control acts like a transform and a rotation control. Oh, Christ. Rigging is super difficult. Yeah. Keep at it. You got it. Sometimes I find it easiest to just, I'll save, like if I ever get it correct, which happens eventually, I will save that. And then it's some dumb little setting. Sometimes it's even the order in which you attach new bones. Again, I've done what you're doing in Blender before. It's very annoying. But once you get it, like you got it, and then you know every possible thing that could have gone wrong. So yeah. I believe in you. Me, this stream. Yeah, Aloha was just dead. And that's A-okay. A-okay. I don't know what I'm doing. In that case, watch a tutorial. I'm looking at this stupid hamster. I know it's a joke, but I'm like, makes you want to change the whole face again. No, Mia. No, leave it alone. Okay. My dog's being really cute. I want to try to point the camera at him. I know he's gonna move. Alright, no one make any noise. Grab my camera. Slowly move. There he is. Dead dog. Maybe. Yeah, see, he's very sensitive. Alright, Maverick says stream's over. Maverick says I want to go outside and hang out. This is probably the shortest stream I've done in a long time. Only 2 hours. That's crazy. Toda, you are more than welcome to hop into the Peasant Social Pub, and I bet you there's some people that can help you. Yeah, right here. You can share your screen and everything. Where the heck is it? There it is. So yeah. That's so cute. Alrighty. I hope y'all have a fantastic rest of your day. I'm not gonna stream tomorrow because I'm volunteering, and I'll be back Friday. Hello says, I'm out of stream. Doesn't matter when so much good work gets done. Aw, thank you. Yeah, this was pretty bitchin' for 2 hours. About posting the server. Okay, good, good. Alrighty, y'all. You take care, and I will see you in a couple days.